right. So it's Astro D, love and relationships. That is my specialty. And today I'm going to be talking about so many topics. Today, this topic is why do you trigger me? What is the issue here when we meet people in life and we're just living and we meet these people that cross us and they trigger us? Like, hey, you know, why are you triggering me? What is it about you that's irritating me so? And then on the flip side, because trigger doesn't necessarily have to mean that this person has triggered you in a negative way. A trigger can kind of be like, you triggered me to want to get down. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you triggered me to want to do something that I needed to do for myself. So, yes, it's been quite a long hiatus that I've been laying low. Sometimes you just have to work on things and you have to stop doing one thing to put 100% focus on yourself. And that's where I was. I had just been putting 100% focus. So for those of you that have not seen me on the internet, no, I'm not, I didn't block you. Some people I did block, but no, I didn't block you. That's not what it's about. So astrology, houses, and relationships, you trigger me. So what is the issue? What is the problem that we're dealing with? The problem that we're dealing with is, you meet somebody, the vibe is cool, but there's something quite about them that really bothers you, it irritates you, and you can't necessarily put your finger on it. Maybe you're a beginner in astrology. This video is really for a lot of people that are beginners to the study and are learning about it. So if you're a beginner in astrology and you're still learning, but basically the general about sun signs here. So you feel like I healed from this issue. I'm doing really good. Why is this person able to activate that within me? So you may walk around saying, Sagittarians are annoying. They're always, poking at me and they always trigger me. And finding this consistency with Sagittarians, right? You say you experienced it in your life. So yeah, no, I know that's how Sagittarians are. But let's break this down and understand why we're going into this constant issue here. So you can list more issues of good and bad according to a sign, but it's according to your experience with that sign. And your experience with that sign depends on your chart and your astrology houses. So let me go into that. The craze. Everybody's having this craze with sun sign focus because it's the easiest. And it makes learning astrology a lot easier when you can just learn the basic sun signs. So I'm not knocking that. I usually do knock it, but I understand why it's efficient and it's your first step into learning astrology, learning the sun signs. So the sun reflects our ego. It's our life force. It's the light you shine in other people's lives. It's where you magnify things. You basically go into their life and you hold up a flashlight and you show, hey, I see this, I see that. You might need to work on it. And they saying it all loud. Those people like, hey, I noticed so-and-so. And you're like, if you don't bring it down a couple notches. Well, that's how the sun's rays are. A lot of times, sometimes, it's nice to shine a light, you get nice and tan, but then sometimes the sun's light will burn you. It's too much. This, can happen. So it's very important because that's where you're going to stand out to that person. This is why I understand the concept of, I get it, their sun is here, so we're not compatible and all of this stuff. I get it. But it's how you express that the sun is how they're also expressing the love to that person. So it's quite significant. It's quite significant. Follow the sun. Quite significant. So we're breaking this down to also, somebody says hair can help with the sun burning. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so house systems. Every house system is like a Pandora's box into your life. Every piece of your life is this Pandora system here. Your money, where's your trauma? Where is your career? We know that for those of you that are advanced in the level of studying astrology, you know that, each house represents an area of our lives. So Everyone has each planet within their chart, okay? Everyone has each planet system within their chart. This is why we say people are reflections. We're reflections of each other. We're pieces of ourselves. I meet someone with a lot of planets in Taurus. All right, that's the Taurus in me. That's the house that holds Taurus is right now being under focus. That they are reflecting that to me. The condition of that house is reflected to you by the people who have planets in that house. Let me go further. And thank you for the people that are here today. That'd be nice. That's nice. But I didn't quite expect anyone because it's been a minute since I've been on, and I get it. It's cool. This will be up for a later replay for those that get to check it out. So everyone has some sort of natal aspect working out in each house, right? So for example, the second house we know is where our values and where our money habits go, how we're spending our money, how we making our money. All that stuff is in the second house, and each house will build upon the other. Let me break that down for you real quick. So you want to develop a skill. You want to develop this skill in life, but do you have the resources? The second house, did you develop the resources in order to take classes in that skill? Did you develop self-empowerment or self-value so that when you do that skill, you believe in yourself and you have self-esteem? Third house, second house building onto the third house. Let's skip all the rest of the houses and let's go to the sixth house. Right after the sixth house is the seventh. So let's say you're a guy, you're a young single man. You ain't got no job, but you're trying to get married. Work on your sixth house first before you get to your seventh. And this is life. We're working on each house. You finish the cycle at Pisces and then you do it all over again. Repeating cycles or not. What did you learn the first time around? What did you learn the last time around in this cycle here? So every house is going to build on the house. But it always starts with who? You. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you're selfish because you want to just focus on yourself, because that is the natural order of life. The ascendant, the second house, the third house, the fourth house. The ascendant is you, your life. What's going on with you, minding your own damn business. Okay? So if you're enjoying this, which I hope you are so far, getting into my flow, I have a webinar coming up on basic astrology chart reading. And for those in here, if you guys, thank you for this, the couple people that got to roll up, because you guys are going to get the early bird special. So if you want to learn basic chart reading, or if you want to learn Synastry chart reading, I have a webinar, and the early bird, you guys are going to get 50% off. So for the next 24 hours, if you happen to watch this video and you want to learn deeper from me and you want to learn more from me, it's today until the 7th, you're going to get 50% off. And then after that is the early bird discount, and that's 20% off. And then by October 1st, everybody's gonna have to pay full price. But I wanna make this available to the people that are here for me, that are down, that are looking at my stuff, okay? So whoever's in here, and like I said, if you were watching this video by September 7th, the sale of 50% on my webinar, and the webinar will be October 8th. Again, we're learning how to read basic charts for the beginners, and we're learning how to read Synastry charts. Yes, there's so many courses out there, but you're not going to get one like me. And if you like my teaching style, I highly recommend you check it out. All right, moving on. So why do you trigger me? The meat of this topic here we're talking. When we encounter people, yes, their planets fall in our chart, and we focus on the sun, where the sun comes. So we're made up of all the zodiac signs, like I said, and we find that, we'll find somebody who's, okay, so let's say we have an idea about a certain sign. Let's say you say Aquarius. Aquariuses, they really irritate me. Or I just can't put my finger on Aquariuses. They're so vague. But you're a Pisces ascendant. Where does Aquarius fall in the Pisces ascendant? In the 12th house. So when you encounter people with a lot of planets in Aquarius, you're not going to know they have a lot of planets in Aquarius. So let's say you meet someone with the sun in Aquarius. What does this person do in your 12th house? They shine a light. They shine a light on all your insecurities, all the things that you're not sure you should be dealing with. So, or not, you're not sure, but that you're unsure, you're having confusion. You know, they shine a light on your 12th house. So what are you going to say about Aquarius people as a Pisces ascendant? You're going to say, man, you know, Aquarius, they're so nebulous. They're so like, you can't just put your finger on them. That's not even a trait of Aquarius, but that's your experience with Aquarius. So therefore, that consistent experience that you have with Aquarius is going to stick. And you're going to truly believe that Aquariuses are like that. Oh, wow, Aquarius, they're, you know, that's the nebulous sign. You know, that's the sign that you can't quite put your finger on because they're real mysterious and stuff. And you're sitting there, and me as an astrologer, I'm just sitting there like, do I correct them? Because, you know, when you keep correcting people and stuff, you look like you're trying to be smart and over, you know, you're trying to be a smart ass and stuff. So I just don't correct people, but I just sit there in irritation, like, please stop talking about astrology. But not even irritation. As I mature, it changes because I'm starting to like understand what the problem is. Why are people having this issue? And I figured it out. So this person is not being fully conscious as to why Aquarians are affecting them this way, but they put this label. Another example, let's say you have a Libra ascendant and your 5th house is, so therefore your 5th house is Gemini. So when you meet Geminis, you're going to say, oh, you know, Geminis, you know, they're just fun. They're so fun. They're a blast. And I'm not saying that Geminis are not fun. They are. But that's not a Gemini trait. It's not a real Gemini trait. So if somebody tells me, hey, you know, I got a baby daddy, he's a Gemini, he's just like a blast, he's so fun, I would say to myself, he might have planets in Leo. Okay? And you may be thinking that the 5th house, okay, sorry. So you might have planets in Leo. And you may be mistaking his sun, which is in Gemini, which falls into your 5th house. So yes, if you are a Libra ascendant, some of y'all might find your baby daddies have sun in Gemini or will have planets in Gemini. And that's just how your energy flows within your chart. So they'll say, you know, man, them Geminis, they're such fun people. But that's not where you're picking. Yeah, they're fun for you. For you, they're fun. Or you say, you know, I can't stand Geminis. Remind me of my baby daddy. He was cruel and abusive. Geminis are cruel and abusive. And that's not true. You've just focused on where the sun falls in your chart. But not to their fault. Not to that person's fault. Because if you think about it, that person is irritating that person. It is a problem, regardless of what house it is. When astrology says it don't matter. This is why you trigger me. You're falling into certain areas that don't work for me. For example, someone's planets falling into your 12th house. I just mentioned that. Someone's planets falling into your 6th house. Why is this person so damn difficult? I swear, if your 6th house is, let's say, Pisces, you know, Pisces people, they're so difficult. They're hard. Actually, you know, Pisces can be pretty complex. How about I say that? So Pisces, let me go into the chat for a second because now it's getting warmed up. People are coming in. I love it. Thank you. Capricorn. So Lunar Line says, a Capricorn rising, I get super excited over restaurants. Taurus in the 5th house. That's right. That makes you happy. Good food will make you so happy. Make sure people prepare food for you at the highest value. Kay. Hi, Kay. I'm glad you caught alive too. Tiara Williams says, I have Libra in the 12th and I'm a Libra sun. That's a double whammy. Okay. T. Kaz K says, Leos trigger me. Where's your ascendant sign? Let's understand why. And that's the key here. Yes, I'm using whole signs, Sylvia. I'm using whole signs. Anytime I want to explain a topic and make it really simple, I just use whole signs. Again, for the people that are in here, 50% off on my webinar coming up October the 8th, where I will be breaking down how to do basic astrology charts. And then on the second webinar, we will do Synastry, more advanced astrology charts. And I'm going to show you how it's done, or at least how I do it. Everybody got their own style, but I got mine, and I want to show you. Okay, so anyway, getting back to it. It's not in these people's heads. It's not in your head that someone with planets in your 12th house, you find that those people tend to betray you. Or you find that those people are doing things behind your back and you don't know. It's the house of hidden enemies. Be very careful with the 7th house, because when planets fall there, oh man, I am a Sagittarius and I've met a Gemini, that's my husband. No, that could be your sworn enemy. That could be your total opposite. But these signs trigger us, right? So confusion, this is where the confusion lies. You're mistaking how a sign affects you according to where it falls into your chart and believing that that is the characteristic of the sign. And that is not true. So I'm here to help, and I'm not here to judge. I don't like these pages where they constantly poke at people like they're on some perfect elevation. Okay, how can we gain advantage of this? Because that's the key. You know, I talk about a problem, but if I'm going to talk about a problem, especially when I'm doing a reading, if I'm going to discuss a problem, immediately I will have a solution or something to soothe that. Y'all ladies ever get waxed? And you know the lady, she'll rip off the thing, but she'll slap it and she'll rub it, okay? She slaps it and she rubs it. And I appreciate when that lady does that every time, because I'm in so much pain, okay? So that's what you got to do when you're receiving information. Sometimes you got to slap and rub when you're receiving tough information and when you're giving tough information to people. So with this, how do we gain advantage over it? Know your chart. You're going to see that. And there's an upcoming video I have on the mysteries of the 12th house. That's going to be next week, Wednesday. That's coming out. Yes, your girl is doing the consistency thing. But when people come into our lives, we can use our 12 houses as an advantage. So here's an example of that. You're triggered by second house people, especially people with Mars in the second house. Those are the people that are going to show you, hey, you overspending, you're doing this. So you're triggered by them. However, that trigger can be used to your advantage. Let's say you want to start a business. Okay, let's say that, I'm going to put it in, for example, okay, so let's say your second house is Virgo, okay, and you meet a friend at the grocery store while you're trying to get food and stuff. So it just so happens that that person has their sun in Virgo and their second house in Virgo. And you've been trying to start a business and you're like, damn, where do I go? Someone that has Venus and the sun in Virgo in your second house, they're going to want to help you. They're going to want to service you to make more money. They might even help invest in your business. And if that person isn't necessarily going to be the business partner, they may introduce you to your business partner. Venus is the planet of partners. But they may want to team up with you and partner with you because it's in your second house. They will see you as a valuable asset. They shine the best as being a valuable asset to you. So this is using the planets in your advantage. Now, let's say you don't know astrology, but you know their sun is in Virgo. You can at least say to yourself, well, you know what? This person might be really good in accounting for me. They may really be able to see where I could possibly be making some financial mistakes and how I could make more money. So while they have other planets that might be in your 12th house, you are going to have to make that decision. Is the deception that I could deal with this person greater than the money I can get from working with this person? You're trying to career climb. All right, you got a Capricorn ascendant. That means Libra's in your 10th house. And you're obsessed with career climbing. Who are the people that you need to be hanging around with? You need to be hanging around those people that are in your 10th house. Why? Because they're going to help elevate you. They're going to be the ones that are in your field. They'll be able to guide you, right? But there's good and there's bad to this. Using this to your advantage, but with intelligence. Because now, just like that 10th house person can elevate you to your career, they could absolutely destroy your reputation. This is where the importance of understanding how to read the Synastry chart and use the Synastry chart for your advantage comes into play. Because you can really, that saying, I don't like that saying. I'm too, they say you got to put people in their place where they belong in your life. Personally, I don't like to do that because I start to feel like I'm using people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like you, but you're really good at this in my life. You're really fun to hang out with. I meet people around you. And I mean, I don't know whether that's a good rule or a bad rule. I don't give a damn. But I don't like to do that. If you're a jerk, you're a jerk. I don't care what advantages or resources you have, you are out of my life. But now you have some people that, will do that. Now, okay, fine. If you're going to do that, I highly recommend you use this system because you will really know how to use them. You'll really know where, and if you're not a user, I hope you're not. If you're not a user, you'll really know where they function the best in your life. So another example, let's say that you have someone that has planets in your 8th house. That is the ultimate triggered house. I'm going to definitely examine that house. And especially with the sun there. I figure with people, they are most triggered by people that have planets in their 6th, their 8th, and their 12th house. But especially the 8th. I feel like because the 12th house, you're not really sure. You're like, I think you an asshole, but you're not. And then you kind of get Stockholm syndrome in the 8th house. Because it's like, I feel like you betrayed me, but I can't see it. But the 8th house, no, you know that person played you. It's clear. No, it's exposed. It is in your body. It has affected you for your life and created a trauma and a dent within. So this is the number one triggered house. Know where your 8th house is, because that person that comes into your life that hits your 8th house is there to test you. Everybody's there to test us, but that's a real specific test. Now you have to really know where the hell you are in your life. If you just came from some terrible abusive situation and then you meet a new person that has a bunch of planets in your 8th house, are you really ready for the new pain? But you want to look at good planets there. Now, if you just went through something horrific and then you meet somebody that has Venus or Jupiter in your 8th house, then you want that person in your life. So it's about paying attention to where we are in our lives, paying attention to what signs are in each house. So when we meet someone, memorize that sucker, because when you meet someone, you will know exactly where they're going to shine the light. If you can't calculate anything, you're going to know where they shine the light and where they're going to trigger you the most. I feel like the sun is more triggering than any other planets because the sun is the brightest. And like I said, ain't nothing like doing dirt and somebody coming and cutting the lights on. You know what I'm saying? Just like, and I always say sun in the 8th house is like you got a new boo and you getting your groove on and somebody come in the room and cut the lights on. And what the hell? I'm naked. Why would you come? What would you do that for? Well, because, it's not something funny up in here and I just wanted to see what was going on. This ain't right. Why y'all doing this up in here like this in your mama's house? You know what I'm saying? The sun is going to expose things, and if you haven't worked it out, and a lot of times, a lot of us aren't willing to do the hard work that's in the 8th house. So if you ain't worked that ish out, and you got somebody that comes with their sun there, they will irritate you in a way that you've never experienced. Now, the 6th house is also a house of can also be a house of a lot of issues. In Vedic astrology, it's the house of enemies and debt here. Now, in Western astrology, the 7th house is the house of open enemies. So you can take it accordingly to how it works out for you. To me, I've seen it in both, actually, which is really interesting here. So in the 7th house, Mars in the 7th house, even Sun sometimes in the 7th house, this person is opposed to you. Now, we know opposites attract. That's lovely. But sometimes opposites will whoop your behind. Sometimes the opposite will take you down. Know what planets someone has in that house. So in conclusion, you can use astrology to be aware of how people will potentially impact your life. And I hope that you do, because this is for good and for bad. Learn it well so you can trust yourself. in my course, I have multiple courses, new courses that just came out. So in these courses, I talk about this topic. I talk about how you can use astrology to gain an advantage over how to deal with certain people in your life. I revamped that entire course and added new courses that I'm so proud of. I'm so Leo proud of, and I'm happy to share all my information with you guys. For those of you, again, I'm going to say it one last time. If you want to get on this webinar and you want 50% off, if either you're a beginner learner and you want to check out the basic beginner birth chart course, that will be October 8th at 10 a.m. And the Synastry birth chart course will be at 1. But you can go in the links in the description and you can get all of that. Now, any questions? If anybody doesn't have any questions, I'm out. I think I want to go for a walk. Kay says, I learned my lesson. I asked for people's charts at the door. I hear that. But you got to be careful now. Most people I found, they will be honest about their sun, but they may lie like a mofo about their birth year. So double check what you learn. And I always say that's such a disadvantage. It's such a disadvantage when they do that. Because I'm like, what if I see something terrible and cut you off? And I'm learning to just trust myself. I just trust myself now. I'm tired of the doubt. If I see something and it ain't right, I'm out. I'm just out. We don't have no time to take these risks. People be risky in their lives. Okay. Jude Abdullah says, damn. Well, I hope I hit a spot. I hope I triggered you today. I hope I triggered you all. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm glad, because I get nervous on lives. I don't like doing live. I really, believe it or not, I'm not a fan of getting in front of the camera. This is why I deleted I didn't delete them, but I deactivated all of my social media. So like, this is a gift, y'all. Me coming on this damn thing. But I want to do that. I want to reconnect with all of you, because the people that are on here, you deserve it. All of you deserve it that support me and that come to my channel. You want to see the next one? Next week, Wednesday, will be the next video I have where I talk about the 12th house. Some of my videos have gotten a lot deeper, y'all. I'm touching on some real stuff. I'm touching on that grown folk astrology issues and actually incorporating astrology to real issues in life. Because we can talk about sextiles, trines, and nobody gets it. But you can get that your baby daddy may have some Gemini traits, okay? And how to revamp, how to use that energy in a positive way. Yes, Reese Swank. Good to see you too. Good to see you too. Shout out to you, Rahu. Noise of Silence. Thank you so much. We love you, D. Thank you so much for that. And I hope you guys are enjoying my faceless videos. That is the best I have to give. But I do have some face videos that are coming up too. And I hope you're loving my art. It's all for sale. There's so much to say. I'll be back next week. We're going to talk about this Pisces full moon. All right, everybody. Take care. Damn it, I don't know how to get out the live. Wait a minute.